What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the NIO share price and talk about what's going on with the data and the market and how this could affect NIO before I end this video by giving you guys my price prediction for tomorrow. Now, before I break anything down, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is any of these 12 free stocks could be a free NIO share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 4 days. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I apologize, guys, if the audio quality is not the best in this video. I'm in a completely different place. And also, I'm not feeling the best today, guys. I'm feeling kind of ill, kind of tired. But I still wanted to make this video anyways about NIO. So looking at the share price, this thing's about to close and we're up over 1.7%. So pretty decent close for the day. What I find very interesting about it is looking at this gap that formed, I believe it was just a couple of days ago. NIO's full gap fill would be around that $11.17 range. NIO is actually below that, and we didn't actually fully fill the gap yet, but we did come pretty close. Now, considering the current price action, it is looking like NIO's on this nice uptrend, but we are starting to kind of curve here, which is a sign that the resistance levels are getting tighter and tighter. This means that the resistance right here, this chop zone, which is around that 10.8 or so, 10.7 to about $11. We're seeing lots of chop around here. NIO is trading kind of sideways around here. So there is potential tomorrow for a nice push to the upside to fill this gap. But once we fill it, there's no guarantee we're just going to continue to rally. It's very possible that NIO is going to kind of like trade sideways from here because right here, above this $11 range, there's also lots of chop around here too. So there's lots of sideways action around here. I am seeing NIO kind of getting stopped temporarily, but if the market does get another big push, then we'll be completely fine. I still think that NIO can make a pretty decent move after that. But for the time being, I'm seeing it slowing down just a bit because relative strength is coming down. Now, looking at the markets, we have big earnings coming out. We have Ford and Meta coming out very soon. And for Thursday, we have Shopify, McDonald's, Apple, Amazon, Intel. Very important day, not to mention T-Mobile. Then ExxonMobil is the big one for Friday. I mean, lots of big earnings coming out very soon. Looking at the data for NIO coming down right here, very similar price comparison between NIO and the SPY. And the price price ratio got a small bounce. It's a little bit hard for you guys to see. There's a tiny little bounce right here, which is a sign that NIO is showing a little bit more strength than before. And looking at the data, most analysts are still giving NIO buy ratings. For Thursdays, it's important to note that historically, NIO has been green 51.12% of the time. So NIO tends to be green on these days. Pretty good sign right there. We did see a big spike in the short interest a couple of days ago when NIO came down. The data is still not out for the later days. I do anticipate this is coming down a bit as NIO is starting to push up. And this is also evident in the overall volume. NIO is showing better volume as of right now. We're not pushing as high as I'd like us to given the volume, but we still made some decent moves today. And then coming down, right here, we saw a big decrease in the short volume percentage as I anticipated yesterday, which means that the sellers are losing power over the stock. Right now, the buyers, the longs, the bulls, whatever you want to call them, they are actually gaining the edge right now. We're seeing the short volume percentage come down. And on top of that, NIO did have some good updates on their Twitter page. I want to just note that we could see that NIO is bringing the next generation of intelligent vehicles to Europe. Absolutely fantastic cars that are very intelligent. And right now, at the time we're recording this, Meta is having their earnings, and they are pushing a little bit in the after hours. How they move is going to depend more on the data too. So seeing that Meta does have potential to maybe push up tomorrow, I mean, it looks pretty oversold. But then again, like the earnings may not be the best because of the fact that they are burning lots of cash in a very short period of time. I just wanted to make it clear that, look, even if they have great earnings, this thing could push up. But even if the earnings are really bad, it still is possible for this thing to push up because this market is crazy as hell. And on top of that, looking at SPY, if we do get a nice bounce from this zone, we form almost like a double bottom here. So I'm hoping for a nice move in this upwards direction. And we also started to kind of like go into unmet spaces for the time being. So a very nice push into open followed by a bit of a big drop. I still anticipate SPY could get a nice push above that 385 level tomorrow, and that's what I'm hoping for. It does depend on earnings, but I am still more optimistic overall. Now, what's interesting is for Tesla, I want to show you guys this. Let me just close this real quick. For Tesla, I noticed something else that's very good. Tesla broke past this chop zone right here, and we did actually break to about that 230 zone, and we held up pretty well so far. So if Tesla holds up, Tesla also has this big gap right here. Let me show you where the gap is once this loads. We have a big gap all the way around this. It's actually higher than this. It's all the way at 237, somewhere in the chart way back here. So right here, 237, we have this big gap. If Tesla continues to push above 230, we could end up seeing the gap get filled, and that would be a good sign for NIO. So, what am I anticipating for NIO for tomorrow? In my opinion, we haven't filled this gap, so I do think NIO is going to try to push and fill it. If the market holds up quite well, this could be a good sign for NIO. And what else I'm seeing is it also depends on Tesla. If Tesla pushes more, because we are starting to rally and show lots of strength, Tesla pushes up like this, right? It keeps going up. NIO is going to have potential to make a move like this into open. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to this zone. And the next key resistance level will actually be in the 11s if we get a clean break. So we could go as high as about 11.4 for the time being. Now, if we actually break that, 11.66 is also very possible. But for the time being, I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with the estimate. And I do think NIO does have potential to push up like this. We might see a slight drop going into the later hours of the day tomorrow, but I'm hoping we hold $11, and I'm hoping for a pretty decent day and a move kind of like this. So far we're seeing this uptrend being respected just like this. You guys can see we're making these higher lows. I'm hoping for a continuation for tomorrow, and that's what I'm essentially anticipating. And I do think there's going to be a slight sell-off maybe later during the day because the market has been following this pattern. But overall, I still see a pretty decent day for tomorrow. I don't necessarily think that this rally is just done for. I do think NIO has quite a bit of potential on its hands. Now, please note that for the short term, the market could actually see a big reversal. I would say sometime next week, maybe, because of the fact that Jerome Powell is likely going to be speaking during the FOMC meeting, and he's likely going to be saying some very hawkish things, in my opinion, considering that inflation is high. He may even debunk the news about him potentially pivoting much sooner than expected. So I do believe that it's going to be important to note that the market could see a big reversal next week, and maybe a little later, who knows, but more towards next week. And for the time being, until then, we do have more room, in my opinion, to push up. We're going to see a little bit more resistance in ranges like this, but I do think this can help NIO, at least for the short term. So I'm hoping for a clean break above 11 tomorrow. I want to see us hold $11. I want to see a slightly green close for tomorrow. That's essentially what I'm seeing for NIO, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. I apologize about my voice and maybe the echo you're hearing in the background. I am once again not feeling the best, but it's okay, guys. We never quit. We'll be much better tomorrow. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, because the long-term future is still incredibly bright, and peace out.